はい、どうもみなさんこんにちは、ライクです。本日もですね、こちら、シャーロック・ホームズやっていきたいと思います。さあ、手紙が来てるみたいだ。取ってみよう。どれどれ木こりのり。はあ。なんか無罪をしようと。うん。死刑になると。オッケーオッケー。で、今回は、どこ行くんだタブ。まあ、タイムズ。はいはい。特にはないね。手紙は机の上だ。あ、こっちの机の上ってこと？これか、あったあったあったあった。手紙。住所。
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter.
ほう。
The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
ブラッケンソール。
A wax seal with the monogram EB.
外長。ケイント州マーシャム・アビ屋敷午前3時半、親愛なるホブズは極めて異常な事件になりかねない捜査に至急ご協力いただけるとはよろしく思うと。藤井を解放した以外は事件の現状はその場にしてあります。ユースタス教を現場に置いたままできませんので、どうぞ一刻も早くお越しいただきたいと。レストレード警部。
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
アビ屋敷。行ってみようか。もうさ、ワトソン君のさ、顔、あれだよね。シャーロック・ホームズの冒険のワトソンになんかすごい似てる。ホームズはそんなんでもないけど、ホームズはもうちょっと彫りが深いと思うんだけど。
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid to raise a right.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
さあ。もうだからもう参ってんじゃん、もう。こっち行くと帰るのかな。さあ、まずは周辺の探索回路。扉。はい、わかったわかった。
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
何が起きたの？
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
なんか消えたものは？
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
さあ、観察しようか。まあ、まず目だな。新しい傷跡。青ざめた方。金のブローチ。オーストラリア製。豪華なドレス。まあ、推定まあ C かな。違う、そういうことじゃないってね。結婚指輪。不幸、不幸な。
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
古い傷だな。
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
まあまあ、そういう意味では死んでくれてよかったってことか。はい、次、テラサ。
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
昨晩は
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
人間観察行こうか。目、しわ。わからんわからんわからん。見え見え見え見え。思いやり。ああ。コーヒーのシミ。ああ、こぼしたんだな。やらかしてんじゃねえかよ。これのなんかブローチとか関係してそうだけど。あと、あった手だ。労働者の手。うんうん。さあさあ。机。 タイムズ。はあはあ、ランドリー会一味の商売が再開。ほうほうほうほう。3人に、ほう。年配ジャック・ランドル。ほう。じゃ、強盗脱走を行って、一家は3人、父親に2人の息子、年配ジャック・ランドルは、40代ですでに、白髪がかかっており、中肉中背、東南の、黒幕を務め、やっていると。で、ウィリアム・ランドルは背が高い。メルビンは、熊手のように細いと。海賊業を行っていったことで、指名手配されていると。貴重品が無事にいることを我々は望んでいますと。
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
これと推理の内容が一つ増えたかな。ランドルに罪を着せたか。まあ一味じゃない。一味か。でもなんだろう、なんか一味だったらもうなんか解決してるんだよね。まあまあ罪着せたんでしょう。そういうことにしようこう。一応まあまあ罪を着せたって言ってにしといてやろう。本当は違うだろうかな。
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
ということは動かせるな。ほらあった。
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
小さいテーブル。
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
かゆくねえな。やっぱ外せるよね。なんかあると思うよね。
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
なるほど。オーストラリアから来たんだ。で、ちょっとごめんね。奥さん。金庫、開けろ。
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
どうやって開けんの？何開けれんの？
Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
ここだね。で、多分こっちじゃないから、金庫だから。ここ。で、最後またこっちだと思う。ここだ。うまい。開けれたわ。これこれ。
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal. Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
アンティークコインなんだ。診断書。これだな。ユースタス教、あなたは現在、身体または精神的に大いに懸念をしていますと。年間をした際、あなたの指は充血しており、皮膚は黄色がかっていた特殊な校舎、肝臓に、障害があるものが持つ、特有なものですと。それ以前お話ししたいと、肺のもありますと。肺のって確か、肺のよか、肺に海がたまるよってだっけ。説明が伺ったあなたが患っている、 下肢の痙攣は、神経系の障害が原因で、それは過度なアルコール摂取により生じます。その時、臓器が非常に硬いようでしたが、腎臓か。肝臓か。肝障害の、進行症状のようです。腹部から分かるように、腹水の、兆しがありますと。左肋骨痛みを感じるというのは、膵炎の可能性を示していて、死に至る重症、急性膵炎になりかねませんと。あなたの状態は他のものに危険をもたらすかもしれません。過度なアルコール摂取量は自制心を失い攻撃性を高めます。私たちはあなたの健康状態をそこではできる治療法は何種類もあります。相当も体ボロボロなんだな、こいつじゃあ。かなりボロボロだね、体。こっち開けれる？
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took place.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
おお。
The hunting scene.
ハンティングシーン。調べてみるか。ローだな。
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
誰かがここから火をプッツーンって切ったわけだな。
A fur trader's cabin.
さあ調べるか。
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
これだな。
Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon.
足。
Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress.
外車。あった。
That must be the murder weapon.
頭部。あー、もう言ってるね。
Was cracked with the force of the blow.
あー。ちゃんと砕けてるね。曲がった皮下希望でこれでしょう。一撃した可能性があると。まあ、苦しむよりはマシなんじゃないの？オッケー。お、これは？あー、血がついてる
It
ね。
is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
オッケーかな。これがこうか。となると、痛ましい事故。頭偶然打ちつけて死んだか、皮下希望で一撃か。まあ、皮下希望には一撃じゃないの？なかなかなんか。それだったら多分さ、この台の上さ、頭ぐしゃってなってない？なってると思うんだよね。てか、もっとえぐれてると思う。
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. Chateau Calon Ségur. French wine. Grand Cru.
ほうほう。グラス。
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
はあ？
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
これは？
This glass has some wine. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
不思議やな。
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture
Oh.
there.
暴言はしてないのか？
The hunting scene.
ハンティングシーン。食器棚。これなんか確か銀のやつが奪われてるんだっけ？
A bottle of wine is missing here.
ああ。
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
食材が奪われなかったのはちょっとおかしいね。
These wine bottles are expensive,
Oh.
and mostly from France.
これ
An
だな。
empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
まあ、溶
The
かして再形成
criminals
した
did
んじ
not
ゃない
thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
だからまあなんか計画的じゃない、銀をぶんどったっていう。これか。
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
かわいそうに。これで俺が入ってるグラス2個のグラスか。その現場で3人が3個のグラスへ。いや現場で2人が3個のグラス使って多分なんか檻の入ったものだけをだから避けたんじゃないかな。よくワインがあまりよくわかんないからあれだけど、多分檻ってあれだよね、ワインの底に溜まってるカスのことだよね。多分俺はそうだと思う。
A deer hunt.
Deer hunt。多分そうだと思う。
Antique hunting weapons.
でも使えないのか。ちょっとレストレード君に。評判。
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
警部の話とこれか。暴力的な振る舞い。まあ、家庭内暴力と。やだね。俺多分、女の人に向かって暴力は触れないよ、俺。うん。男に対してだったら別に、まあ、俺ふざけんな、バーンってだけど。ちょっと女の人に対してはちょっと暴力触れないかな。ちょっとかわいそうになっちゃ
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
う。なんかすごいかわいそうになっちゃ
Lord Brigham Brackenstall. Lord Ramsay Brackenstall. Baron Lyndon Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall. The Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
う。とりあえず一回じゃあ、帰るか。
I've searched outside for footprints.
外出れるじゃん。そう。こっちから道を開けれるのか。この時計はなんもないか。なるほど。一応ここから出れるようにはなってるのか。なんかねえかな。こんな感じの屋敷だよ。でげえな。ただまあ侵入ルートだよなと気になるのはね、こっち側はなんもないか。どうやって侵入したのかってのは気になるよね。これも特に触れるところはない。で、噴水は死んでる。これも特にない。 一回これじゃあとりあえずグラスと健康状態について聞いてみるか。帰る前に。家庭内暴力って怖そうだよね。ちょっといいかな。
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
健康状態に関しては誰か暴力。
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead. But a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. One with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was especially hard for her.
はあ、なんかやっぱこうだね。ロンドンには知人がいない。でまあセイント大化と知り合ったんでしょう。それはありえそうじゃん。だって知人がだって誰もいない状態で話せるって言ってもそのぐらいでしょ。
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
とりあえずこれでよし、一回分析行こう。一回帰るわ。これなんだろう、男の人が暴力を受けてるんだけど女の人が暴力を受けてるのは俺見れないんだよね、映画とかでも。うーってなる。男の人は別にっていうのあるけど、女の人はその暴力受けてるところは無理だね。なんか女性蔑視とかじゃないけど、なんか普通にかわいそうってなっちゃう。守ってあげたくなっちゃうっていうのはあるな。よしよし、ついた。さあさあ、紐調べようか。
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
ハサミでやってみるか。
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
ナイフ。
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
ナイフの扱いにも長けてると。そうだね。船員が裏にいるっていうのはあり得る。だって船のね、船員がやる結びだったわけでしょ。でだ。結婚して1年目、それ彼女は2週間後に身体的ほとんど外出はしていないと。使用に料理、補佐、そして夫人の看護もしている。何かも躊躇なく夫人を守るだろうと。なるほどな。
Someone should take Toby for a walk.
ああ、 あ、よしよしよし。まあまあ、とりあえずちょっと今回時間の気がちょうどいいから、この辺で終わるか。さあろ。
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
よしよし。はい、ということでじゃあ、今回はこの辺で終わらせて、次回はトビーを、連れて、追跡したいと思います。ぜひ、チャンネル登録、コメント、高評価、Twitter のフォローもお願いします。それでは終わります。おっつ。